Numerous woke activists have been laid off amid Square Enix's recently announced restructuring. Roll this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. So as I said, a number of woke activists who had found employment at Square Enix are being laid off after the company announced a new restructuring plan where it aims to save over $19.4 million annually. Square Enix announced this new restructuring initiative as part of its progress report on its medium-term business plan. The company said this: in the current fiscal year, a fundamental restructuring of the overseas publishing organization is being implemented with the aim of further strengthening global publishing capabilities and improving operational efficiency. The company added implementation of structural reforms in overseas publishing organizations to further strengthen global publishing capabilities and improve operational efficiency. Under the policy of shifting from quantity to quality, a selective and focused approach is being implemented. As a result of reviewing development titles and development structures in overseas operations, a restructuring expense of 11.8 billion yen is expected to be recorded in the fiscal year ending March 2026. This restructuring process aims, quote, to strengthen development capabilities from a group-wide perspective and to optimize resource allocation for maximizing the value generated by IPs. Additionally, the company conducted a review of its development pipeline and determined to close overseas development studios and shift toward consolidating development functions in Japan. Furthermore, it is also having its IP management become globally integrated after it was previously overseen by overseas development studios. Finally, the company declared development support functions and personnel allocation both in Japan and overseas will be reviewed from the perspective of overall group optimization, obviously indicating that there was going to be layoffs. So as part of this restructure, a number of woke activists shared on social media that they have either resigned from the company or been laid off. The company's chief publishing officer and head of the Western branch of Square Enix, John Heineke, announced his resignation. He wrote this on LinkedIn: yesterday, I announced to my team at Square Enix that I've decided to resign from my role as chief publishing officer effective on November 21st. In another post, he revealed over 180 employees were laid off as part of the restructure. He wrote this: yesterday, a significant number of Square Enix employees across our London and Los Angeles offices were informed that their roles were being eliminated. This will add over 180 extremely talented professionals to the already long list of those impacted industry-wide by a changing and challenging gaming market landscape. Heineke had previously responded to one individual who called for employees who had embraced woke ideology to be fired by writing, "Oh, piss off." So I think it's pretty clear that this guy was a woke activist and he was defending it. And he was hiring people that were pushing woke ideology. So it is a good thing that this guy is no longer there and he has resigned. And he's not the only woke activist at Square to exit the company. As initially discovered by the Reunion 7 over on X, global PR manager for Life is Strange, Izzy Jagan, who was at the company for 5.5 years and features a rainbow flag and black power fist in her X bio, has also been laid off. Jagan wrote this: hey team, unfortunately my role has been impacted by the recent layoffs at Square Enix and is now at risk, so I'm on the hunt for a new role. Please do reach out if you know of anything or just want to catch up. Jagan did an interview with Gaming Magazine, making it clear her goal entering the video game industry was to push DEI. She said, I was under no illusion that I couldn't change it alone, but I knew I couldn't be the only one who wanted to make a change, so I went into it with the goal to meet people in the industry who I shared common ground with to join forces. Additionally, an entry on the Square Enix collective page notes Izzy's love for video games has been lifelong, and her passion is doubled by the drive to bolster diversity, equity, and inclusion in all areas of the video game industry. Her goal being to play even a small part in making the industry accepting and welcoming to all. So clearly a DEI woke activist if there ever was one. Sandra Chow, who is an ambassador for the feminist activist group Women in Games, announced her job is at risk as well. She says, hi, everyone. Sadly, my current role is at risk, so I'm seeking new opportunities and would appreciate your support. To be clear, Women in Games' first sentence on its About Us page is literally, we are activists. Like you can see right there in the screenshot. We are activists. I'm not making this up. We believe that getting more women into games and esports should be framed as a national, international, and strategic priority, a business case for stronger teams, better insights, innovative new products. We believe in more people, more diversity, and more perspectives. So another woke activist right there. Nirali Moda, a marketing manager, announced she was laid off as well. She said, sadly, it's my turn to say that I have been impacted as part of the latest restructure at Square Enix. My current role is at risk of redundancy as are many of my talented colleagues. Even though this isn't the ideal outcome, I'm hopeful that it will mark the beginning of a new and exciting chapter. Back in 2021, Square Enix spotlighted her with a quote on X that read, "Being a person of color and a woman in the industry, I feel it's important to represent my heritage and make my voice heard." Obviously, DEI talking points if there ever were any. Global brand manager Anne-Lou Grosboy-Favreau announced she left the company. She was a Limit Break mentor in 2023 and 2024. Limit Break describes itself as the largest mentorship program for marginalized people working in the UK games industry. Grosboy-Favreau shared on LinkedIn that she had left the company, saying, "On the eve of my 5-year anniversary at Square Enix, I'm sad to announce I've left the external studios team. I've met a lot of exceptional people and made some lifelong friends, so it's been an emotional goodbye for me, but it was time to move on." While a number of woke activists are getting laid off and leaving the company, Square Enix still lists diversity, equity, and inclusion as important to the company on its website. You can read it right here, screenshot that I took. Square Enix Group believes the importance of fostering diverse and inclusive workplaces across the many rich facets of the human experience, including nationality, race, religion, thought and creed, age, gender, sexual orientation, and physical condition. All of our locations work to increase representation and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across such areas as recruiting, training, team building, and employee activities. We are encouraged by the progress we've seen through the years in the areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and continue to prioritize our work in this area. That is literally on the Square Enix website. So just because they're firing a bunch of woke activists as part of this massive restructuring does not mean that the company is eschewing woke ideology. It is still literally listed on their website, not hiding it whatsoever, publicly stating it there. Additionally, the company also says, "We also create opportunities for education, inspiration, and awareness of the rich backgrounds, cultures, and contributions that make up our diverse world, including our workforce. Our initiatives include multi-platform campaigns, cultural spotlights, including for African American History Month, Women's History Month, Pride Month, and AAPI Heritage Month, and the work of our Pride and Women in Gaming employee resource groups." So clearly still pushing woke activism throughout the company. It's clearly been institutionalized. My guess is there's probably training sessions that all of the employees there have been subjected to. So just because we're seeing a lot of these people be removed, get laid off, resigned, etc., the company is still clearly infected with woke ideology. Remember, they were still putting in body type A and B in their Dragon Quest HD 2D remakes, which there's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And they're still doing it. They're still doing it, right? And they haven't changed it. So they are still going down this woke path as far as I can tell. Have not seen them actually righting the ship, despite seeing some of these activists getting laid off here. But again, this is part of a total restructuring with 180 employees being laid off. So these are just some of the people that are kind of getting laid off, along with other employees who might not have been woke activists, but again, probably have been subjected to the woke activist training that all of these companies put out and push onto their employees that have basically done massive, significant harm to our societies in the West, and then even also obviously in Japan and in the East as well. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.
Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?